Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Teen Shallot, and today we're gonna be talking about a what if video that you guys all love. Today we are talking about what if Deku had Abranium part 6 for the 1K. Yes, my family, my fam, the 1K special. Thank you all for your support. I really appreciate all that you guys have done for me and sticking with me throughout this road or this journey that I have been through. So I will give you 30 minutes. And you might be wondering, why didn't you post? I got only 2 words for you. I only got 4 words for you. School is a beep. And that's all. So, without further ado, let's begin. From where we last left off, guys, it was the beginning of the UA Sports Festival. And now it's time for the race. Now, of course, you guys will be wondering, what about the speech? Okay, guys, you want the speech? Let's go with the speech. I might have already done this in part 5, but that's okay, because it's a 30-minute special. So, Deku goes up. He's been called up. Everybody's cheering for him. And then he says 2 words. Dead meat. And everybody's like, what? And Deku says, you're dead meat. None of you have a chance. You're all gonna lose. I'm gonna beat you. You know why? Because I'm a pro hero. You're not. You're nothing. You're just an ant to my boot. Now, with all that gone, done and over, it's time for us to get ready and fight. So he just goes down, everybody starts booing him, and then now class 1A is just a bunch of targets. Instead, this time, the way he said it was a bit more worse than Bakugo. And so, they're getting ready for the race. And President Mike says, alright, all of you, it's time for the race. And the first obstacle is... Oh wait, what the hell am I saying? The first obstacle is the race. So he's like, 3, 2, 1, go. So he goes. So everybody runs throughout the tunnel. And then Deku knows right away that this is the first obstacle. Get through the tunnel. Easy. He activates 30% of one for all, jumps up across the ceiling, and lands in front of everybody and starts running. Todoroki does the same thing. He freezes everybody. But a lot of other people made it out. You all know who made it out. Bakugo, of course, Mineta. How the hell he made it out. So, Deku was running, and then he saw Mineta trying to go on Momo. And he's like, oh hell no, whoa. And he went and he punched him with the 10% Detroit Smash into the forest that was next to them. And then he just ran ahead faster and faster. Todoroki was on his heels, and so was Bakugo. So here's right now where what the standings are. Deku's number 1, Todoroki's number 2, and Bakugo's number 3 in the class. But that's gonna change because it's season 2. Everybody changed. So they're running faster and faster, and Deku sees the robots. And he wants to show off, you know. He wants to show everybody that I'm better than you. I'm better than you. You're nothing. So he gets a little cocky during competition, guys, and more brutal. So he's not gonna be the same Deku that you guys all like. So he goes up and he says, one for all, 30% Detroit Smash. And he punches the robot using 30% of one for all. It gets pushed back, the 0-pointer gets pushed back, but not destroyed. But then it just topples over by the sheer shockwave of that strength. Don't forget, guys, Deku's one for all is stronger than All Might's. Now, I remember in the manga, if you guys haven't read the manga, I haven't read the manga either, but it was spoiled for me. Then skip ahead like 10 seconds, but he got Black Whip. And that basically just comes out when he used like 30% of one for all, I feel like, or something like that. If that's not how it happened, please tell me in the comment section below, and I'll just try to integrate it in a different way. But yeah, it's gonna come out during the 2nd season, right now. So he starts running, and right now Bakugo's in front of Todoroki, and Todoroki's behind him. And Deku's like, I can't let them win. He's like, one for all, full cowling. Because this time, the whole time, he wasn't using one for all. He was just running normally. And he's faster than Todoroki and Bakugo running normally. So guess what? One for all, yeah. So he runs and then sees the gorge. You know, and you're like, what about Class 1A? What about Class 1A? This is about Deku. Alright, I will focus on them when the time comes. Right now, they just do the same thing they always do. So, but Momo is doing much better. She knows how to fight with weapons. So she summons a Gatling gun and just starts destroying every robot, absorbs it back into her body. Basically, Deku taught her how to absorb her creations back inside of her so then she can use the materials for other things. So her quirk pretty much evolved like that in 2 weeks with Deku. You know, Deku is like a Goku training kind of guy, so he goes overboard. So he starts going and he's running. Momo's 4th place, and then they see the gorges, and Deku's like, is this really a challenge? Cause this is nothing. This is so easy. He says it out loud and he starts laughing and he's like and then he's like, everybody looking at him kind of confused and they're like, what is he laughing about? You must be wondering what I'm laughing about. But what you don't know is that I'm stronger, I'm faster, and I'm better than all of you. Now, you guys might be wondering, does he say one for all out loud or does he not? Well, look, yes, he does. He says one for all out loud. He doesn't care if All For One is there, Shigaraki is there, or All Might doesn't like it. He's gonna say he's proud of this power and he's gonna use it and say it out loud as much as he wants. So, without the permission of All Might, he just yells out, one for all, full Cavalry, 40%, and then he blitzes the whole stage, the whole area, and he starts jumping from one place to another. Bakugo's his explosions are much bigger. They're like as big as the end of season 3 at season 2 beginning. So he's going real fast, and now he's right next to Deku, and Deku's like, well, Bakugo, you surprised me, but don't think I'll let you off that easy. You're not gonna beat me. Yeah, Deku, of course I'll beat you. Because I will be the #1 hero, not you. Oh yeah? You think you can take down All-Star? Then prove it. Beat me right here, right now. If you beat me, I will acknowledge you as my rival. And so Bakugo with more determination on his face, goes all out. He starts overusing his muscles a bit. But no, I'm just joking. It's Bakugo. He's not gonna overuse his muscles. He's just going faster and faster, and he trained really hard to be able to maximize the amount of explosions he can output while decreasing the amount of strain on his body. So he's doing really well for himself. Todoroki is more inclined to use his fire side because he's seen how strong Deku is going, and he knows that he needs his fire side to become the #1 hero. But he's not going to use it that much. He's just not going to be surprised when he uses it. Not going to be that hesitant to use it. So, what happens next is that Deku says, alright, Todoroki, Bakugo, it was nice knowing you. And they're like, what? Yeah. So he runs fast and he blitzes and he's gone. Nobody sees him anymore. He's just gone from the face of the earth. And then they see him and then he's running across the minefield. Every mine is exploding right behind him. And he's going faster and faster. And he says, screw it. 50% on one for all. His legs are full. His whole body is straining. His body is acting like the strain of a Kaioken times 5. Basically at the beginning of Z. So Deku then reaches the finish line. And he finishes the race in 10 minutes. And finished the minefield in 50 seconds. And he's there, done. He won the race. And the winner of the race is Izuku Midoriya. And then Deku starts cheering really loudly and then collapses unconscious. Everybody's kind of worried. All Might goes down there, picks him up, brings him to Recovery Girl. And he says, I'm so proud of you, Midoriya. You are the best successor I've ever had, or I would have ever chosen. So Bakugo comes in second, Todoroki comes in third, and surprise, surprise, Momo comes in fourth. Now you'll be wondering, how did Momo pass fourth, right? So what she did was she created a jetpack, at the gorge, and then she started flying all over. It ran out of fuel, she absorbed it back into her body, landed with a pogo stick, absorbed that back in, and then she created rollerblades and started running across the path that Deku had created by running over it. And then she had stopped, and then she had created a bicycle, And guys, she also evolved her quirk in a way where that she could use, like how Bakugo did it, but instead she can create bigger objects in a shorter amount of time. So like a small object can take like 0.5 seconds or 0.001 seconds. And if it was something as big as a car, it might take her at least like 2-3 minutes to create that because of the complex structure of a car. But she's kind of OP right now, but she needs to be OP, alright? Because the Nomu was strong, but not that strong. So Deku goes and he starts, everybody starts passing. Everybody's the same place except for Momo, Todoroki, and Deku and Bakugo. So now it's time for the cavalry battle. Now you guys will be wondering, so is it gonna be the same teams? Hell nah. I'm gonna be making it different teams. I'm gonna put them down into the most OP team of the cavalry battle. Everybody's gonna be going after them. So they're all gonna decide to band together. Now y'all must know who I'm talking about. You all should know correctly. Number 1, Todoroki on top, Deku in front, Momo on the right side, and Bakugo on the left. Actually, Todoroki's on the bottom, Bakugo's on the top, because he's able to do a lot of things. The most overpowered team, the top 4 of UA's first years, or even as strong as the third years, band together. Everybody is cheering wildly, clapping and laughing and having an amazing time. And then Shigaraki is standing at the top of the stadium, looking down like, I can't wait. It's almost time to enact the plan. I have to go call Kurogiri. Let's see how this brat handles it. So Shigaraki goes back inside a portal and goes back to Kurogiri. And then Deku goes and he starts beating everybody. He's running so fast that nobody can catch him. And Bakugo's able to steal everybody else's headbands. And now it's just an unfair war because everybody else is losing all their headbands while the Bakugo people, Bakugo's team is just legit destroying everyone. So everybody did the next best thing that they could. They again went for them. Dumbest plan of the century, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right guys? So, they went and they attacked Bakugo's team. Bakugo sidestepped, took their headband, and just left them hanging there. And then, after a few 10-15 minutes, it was over. You know how it's like 10 million? Let's say it's 11 million points right now for Deku's team. So, Deku's kind of laughing a bit, and then people are looking at he's kind of insane or something. Like, no, he's all good. So everybody that passed the cavalry battle passed in going on to the final battle. So here's how it's gonna go. Deku is against Shinso, same as always, but I'm gonna be changing around the battles a bit, so I could give some diversity, show people their strength, show them off. Wow, 2 sparkings. Ooh, wow. And then, try to make things a bit more fun, right? You guys all love fun. So it's time for the battle, and then it's Deku versus... didn't I already say this? Yes, Deku versus Shinso. So Shinso tries to ask him a question, but Ujiro blocks him with his tail. Deku's mouth. He's like, Deku, do not talk to him. His quirk allows him to control people by him asking them a question and them answering. Alright, and Deku's like, don't worry, my guy. I will not talk. Even if he tried to control me, he knows he'd be dead meat in the next 5 seconds. Nothing to worry about, my tailed friend. And then he just walked away. Ojiro's like, well, at least I can count on him to keep my honor. And Deku's like, keep your own honor. I do this for myself. So he goes onto the stage, and Midnight and everybody is like, alright, for the first battle is Izuku Midoriya, Pro Hero All-Star, the strongest man alive, versus Shinso. I forgot his first name, guys, I'm sorry. Shinso, rumored to be the lost son of Aizawa. Bam! And then Aizawa's like, Midnight, you say that again, we're gonna make sure you don't have a hero career after this is over. Midnight got a bit scared because she knows that Aizawa can do that. So, Shinso tried to ask him a question. And Deku said, hold up his hands, and he said, let me ask you a question. And Shinso's like, sure. Why do you want to be a hero? And Shinso's kind of taken aback. He's like, nobody has ever asked me why I wanted to be a hero. They always told me to be a villain. So she told him, well, I don't know what you might do with this information, but I wanted to be a hero because everybody else said I could be a villain. I would be a villain. So I wanted to prove them all wrong. I wanted to show that even people with a villainous quirk can become heroes as well. Your dream is sound. Your dream looks like it can be accomplished. So I shall honor you by going all out. Now everybody was surprised. They've never seen Deku go all out against a foe except for Bakugo himself. And we all know how that ended, guys. Remember, Bakugo 6 feet under the ground. So, Shinso's like, thank you. Now it's time for us to battle. Deku says, yes it is, Shinso. He says, then he starts powering up. And that 5% power up that he did in Island, the shockwave is even bigger. He put his hand fist together and then he ran, and then he powered up to 50% of One for All. And think of half the speed in season 4, where Deku versus Chisaki part 2. Yo, just remember that, half that speed. So basically that fast, guys. Basically you can break the sound barrier by now. So, Shinso's surprised when he gets in his own fighting stance, similar to Aizawa's. And people are getting like, Todoroki's thinking in his head, he must be Aizawa's secret love child. And then Deku looks towards Todoroki and says, no. And then he just runs towards Shinso. Shinso tries his best and does a duck. And then he almost gets kicked in the face. And then Deku's like, with a bit more training, your reflexes would be ultra. You would be superior to even Aizawa. Even Aizawa? Yeah, you think the old man can keep up with me? Dude, you dodged one of my kicks. That's amazing. So Shinso kind of is happy, but then Deku's like, never take your eyes off your opponent. It will cost you your life. And then Shinso went wide-eyed, and then Deku went and said, I'm not going to use 50%, but you wanted my full power. I will give you my full power. Just don't die. So he said 100%. And he actually went 100%. Delaware, Detroit, smash. You know how Saitama went against Genos and then he just stopped his serious punch right in front of his face? That's what Deku did. So he stopped his fist right in front of Shinso's face. And then the whole wind knockback blew everybody away. Of course, All Might knew what was going to happen, so he quickly moved everybody out of the way. So a quarter of the stage was gone. Obliterated. Yeah, there's nothing left of this stage, guys. I'm sorry. Deku just went a bit overboard this time. So, everybody said, okay, so Shinso. Yes. Are you alive? No. Oh, okay. Who gives a shit? So, Deku goes and sees Shinso unconscious, and he's like, wait, how would I answer his questions? And then he looks up and he sees me, the author. He's like, take 2. Okay, do take 2. Alright, I'll come. Deku goes and he sees Shinso's unconscious. And he's like, you fought well, Shinso. You are a worthy opponent. I'll heal you. I'll help you become stronger. And then I might actually have a decent rival. So, clearly putting shade on Todoroki and Bakugo right now. So, Bakugo and Todoroki were amazed by that sheer amount of power. Then it showed Deku's arm healing, and it became stronger, more durable. So next time he did a 100% smash, it may not even break his arm. Yeah, he's pretty OP, guys, sorry. But he needs to be if he's gonna face All For One. So, Deku said, alright, it's time for the next battle. So everybody was cheering loudly, clapping and cheering, and going all like, woohoo, you did amazing. And then everybody said, nice try. One of the most meanest things to say to a guy, right? Am I right or am I wrong? So, Deku looked kind of flabbergasted, and he's like, I feel sorry for every single person that had to go through that. But it doesn't matter to me. So he went, and then he saw it was time for... Okay, everybody's battles went the same except for Momo's. This time, Momo summoned katanas. Not summoned, she created katanas and created a foot blade. She attacked Tokoyami like it was no tomorrow. Tokoyami could barely block with Dark Shadow. Then she stabbed Dark Shadow in the head, ripped it out, almost cut off Tokoyami's head, punched him into the ground, punched him again and again and again until Tokoyami said, I forfeit. And then he went unconscious. Deku is like, yes, that's my girl. And then, Momo kind of blushed here and there, but it's okay. So, you guys might be wondering, so, did you make a script for this Teen Shallot? No, this is all unscripted. Oh, that's how I do all my vids. They're all unscripted, and that's why you guys love them so much. So, now it's time for the final battle. Deku versus Todoroki. Now you guys might be wondering, final battle, what do you mean by that? Well, this battle might just take up 8 minutes. So, yeah. Now it's time for Deku and Todoroki's battle. They start fighting the hell out of each other. They go all out from the beginning. Deku uses 30% of One For All. Right now his bar is 40. He can go to 50, but that puts strain like the Kaioken on his body. But with this adamantium, vibranium, titanium, alloy, skeleton, he can just handle that thing. He could just be stabbed 5 times and survive. Basically, he's like a Dante right now. Except half as immortality OP-ness. So, and I know that's not a word, but come on, guys. Give me a break. So, Deku went, and he's like, Todoroki, use your full power. Right now. I order you. I talked with your father, and he said, make me use your full power. And Todoroki's like, did my dad buy you off? Todoroki, I'm the next #1 hero. You think I can be bought out by that guy? I know what he did to you. I investigated what he did to you. Look through your past. I saw what happened. What do you mean you saw? There were cameras all over your house. I don't know how, but I got all the footage. I will release it 5 days after the tournament. And then you can finally be free, you and your family. Todoroki said thank you. And then Deku said, but there's a catch. And what's the catch? Todoroki asked. You have to go and use your full power, both your fire and your ice side. And then I'll release it. You what? Yeah. I won't release it until you release your full power, man. That's just how it goes. Alright, you asked for it. You wanted it. Here it is. And he activated his fire side. And then this whole big blue flame, the blue flame on the inside, the red and yellow flame on the outside surrounded Todoroki. And Deku said, yes, this is the challenge that I've wanted so far. Finally, someone who can prove to be worthy. So, now it's time for me to go all out as well. And then his legs start shaking a bit, and he puts 100% of One For All through and puts the other 100% throughout his arm. And then the big faded showdown starts happening. And then Todoroki blasts a huge wall of ice mixed with fire. And you might be wondering what's happening. Todoroki's attack, wherever the fire touched, ice came out of it. And damn, Endeavor was even surprised by this power. Todoroki's fire created ice, and it was still hot at the same time. And so was the ice, it was still freezing cold. So, Todoroki attacked Deku with that. Deku just jumped over it, and said, "It's time, Todoroki, smash!" And then he did a gigantic punch, and Todoroki threw out his whole flaming hand and hit him. And there was a tint of blue flame, and then a gigantic explosion. See, Midnight and Cementos couldn't make it in time because of how fast things escalated, and they were standing in awe, so it took them like 2 minutes. It took them like 30 seconds to figure out what was happening, but by then it was too late. Both impacts were unleashed, and the whole stadium was in jeopardy. This was even stronger than the original tournament. So, Deku went. So now, guys, we look down from the sky, and we see a big black cloud. Looks like a whole mushroom cloud exploded there. And then everybody looked, and they saw two things that surprised them the most. Both Deku and Todoroki were out of bounds. Yes, people, this one is a tie. And yeah, guys, that's the end of Deku versus Todoroki's battle. Now, Uraraka versus Bakugo, same thing. That same thing happens. And then now it's Momo versus that Vine girl. Knowing that Momo's gonna beat her, she just forfeits because she doesn't want to fight against such powerhouses. So now it's the semi-finale, or is it the final? I don't really know anymore. It must be the semi-finals. Yes, the semi-finals. So it's, I'll just make the finals a three-way and just kick everybody else. I'll just say the semi-finals went the same way. Now it's the finals. Actually, semi-finals, Deku versus Momo. Now I'm gonna make this a quick 3-minute one, alright? Because Deku just wanna hurt Momo. But he's not gonna disrespect her either by holding back. So he goes 40% of one for all. And he's like, "Momo, are you ready?" "Yes, I am." And then he goes before and he does Delaware. And he puts his thumb ready to flick and does Delaware in the stance as Goku does when he's charging the Kamehameha. Delaware smash, and releases it, and his foot is back there holding into the ground to stop from the sheer force of the Delaware smash. And then he goes and sees Momo still in the ring with a parachute, and then she lands down. He's like, "You're not done yet?" Then here it comes, Russian Slovenia smash, and then he punches her so hard that her ribs are broken and blood spills out of her mouth, coming all over her clothes, and then she flies through the stadium into the empty forest. Deku, realizing that he accidentally went 50% against her, was shocked and surprised, and he immediately activated 100% throughout his whole body. His hair went into a Super Saiyan-like state. His eyes went greener than usual, and his hair went up as well, and his whole costume was broken with a shirtless Deku just standing there with a solid 8-pack, everybody blushing the hell. And then All Might saw infinite 100% Deku. He saw him there. And for 10 seconds passed, and Deku was already carrying Momo in his arms. Recovery Girl was there helping her. She underwent surgery. And after those 10 seconds, Deku passed out with Momo on top of him. Everybody had just witnessed the sheer power of Deku that he holds. The sheer power of what he could do and what he has yet to become. Now, I said this would be a 30-minute special, but screw it. I'm going to be making it longer for the Bakugo versus Deku fight. So, Deku's been healed up. Bakugo's fight went the same. I don't know who else was. Oh yeah, it was Ida. I forgot. Bakugo beat the hell out of Ida. There's no other way to say it, guys. Bakugo was healed. Basically, everybody was healed to max power. And then it was time for the tournament. And now final battle. Fated rivals to ever exist. And now they are being announced. The second strongest student, the rival of Izuku Midoriya, all-star himself, the hero, Ground Zero, Katsuki Bakugo, the strongest, most fearsome explosion user, or second, or maybe even the best hero. That was his introduction, and Bakugo was scowling with pride and yelling out in defiance, I am the best! And then Deku went forward, and then they said, the hero, the next number one hero, protege to All Might, all-star, the one, the only, the man, the mission, Izuku Midoriya! And then everybody started cheering to high heaven, and everybody was happy. They finally got, this was the best UA sports festival they have ever seen in UA's career. And now, Bakugo goes up to Deku and they shake hands. They go back, and then they go into their stances. Bakugo goes into his explosion ready stance. And then Deku goes into his stance where his hands are down, his hands up there, and he's bending down. Basically, guys, he's in a Goku stance, and Bakugo's in a Vegeta stance. Very iconic here, okay? So, Deku's like, you make the first move, Bakugo. No, you nerd. They just stand there for 1 minute. And Midnight's like, if you don't move in the next 15 seconds, you'll be eliminated. But before she could finish speaking, Bakugo and Deku just rushed at each other. Bakugo went, and Deku went for a kick. The kick went over Bakugo's head as he went down from the explosion that he put behind him. Then he turned around. Deku twirled around and then lifted up, put his kick, and electricity flowed across Bakugo's face. And then Bakugo lifted up his hand slowly and threw an explosion at Deku, blowing him away. And then Bakugo went towards him, and they started going all out, blurred by blur. Nobody could see what they were doing. It only looked like orange and green, just fighting against each other. They only saw orange and green. They were moving so fast. And then Bakugo said, let's finish this, nerd. You're my rival, and I'll be the only one to beat you. Oh yeah? Then come at me with all you got. And Bakugo said, you asked for it. Nuclear impact. And then he went down as fast as a meteor, and with that nuclear impact, Deku went up to meet him, and he said, 1000% United States of Smash. And then they punched each other so hard that their fists collided, and the shockwave was enormous. The shockwave was hard enough to destroy a whole city, maybe even 2 if possible. And now, Deku and Bakugo were still going through their fight, but both of their arms were mangled and broken. And if it weren't for Deku's skeleton, then he wouldn't even have an arm anymore with the amount of power that he had just used. Bakugo's meteor impact, or nuclear impact, maybe meteor impact, that's right. Meteor impact almost blew his own arm off his body clean off. But for some reason, the shockwave from the meteor impact kept his arm still on himself. So, as the fight still continues, both of them only using their left hands, fighting each other, throwing explosions at each other, trying to beat each other to the best of their abilities. And then they both went and did an attack, and then both held their hands going off down, both of them butting their heads onto each other's faces, knocked to the back of the arena. Then they just jumped out of the arena and they started fighting all over the forest. The shockwaves could be felt from the city. The city could even feel the shockwaves. And then Bakugo said, where's that 100% Deku? You think you can beat me with only 50% of your power? My meteor impact almost destroyed you. And so did my 1000% smash. Now, you better be ready, cause I'm about to let it all out. All my power. And then he calmed down. He went 100% of one for all course throughout his veins, or his body. He opened his eyes. Electricity came from his eyes. His hair became taller, greener, much lighter shade. His costume was destroyed and he was only in his boxers. Okay, he was only in his pants. But underneath his pants were his jeans in black leather boots. And then Bakugo decided to go all out too. And his hand turned orangish from the amount of power that he's outputting. And then he was ready to put down the final biggest blast that he has ever committed. The meteor impact once more. And All Might knew that if this continued, they would both die. So, All Might tried to interfere. And then Bakugo said, "Nerd, let's go!" And then, because also some of Deku's blood went into Bakugo's bloodstream, so he temporarily got one for all. So Bakugo's hair was orange and lit up. It was going higher into something that looked like a Super Saiyan, but orange. And then his pupils turned orange. His whole hair was lit up and orange lightning came out of his eyes, and his whole body was covered in orange aura. And down there he was wearing dress pants. Yes guys, he was wearing dress pants with dress shoes under his gym uniform. And then they both charged at each other, both of them yelling. Deku said, "United World, League of Nationality Smash." Okay, you know what? I'll think of something else, He went forward and then he said, "Worldwide Cataclysmic." And then Bakugo said, "Worldwide United States of." And then both of them said, "Cataclysmic United States of Smash." And both their fists collided. Another shockwave was created. And now Bakugo and Deku were defeated. And both are on the ground, around the smoke cleared. And what they saw, they would never forget. Both of them, grasping hands, standing up. Deku acknowledged Bakugo as his rival. And so did Bakugo of Deku. And then, they both collapsed into each other, just lying down on the grass. And Bakugo just looked at All Might, and All Might went down, and he said, "You two are the best heroes I have ever seen. You have what it takes to be number one. Both of you. Wonderful job, Katsuki Bakugo and Izuku Midoriya." And then Bakugo closed his eyes, resting from the battle. And yeah guys, that's where I'm gonna be ending part 6 to What If Deku had Abranium. I hope you guys all like this explosive what if. I know you might be all wondering, how is Bakugo that powerful? Well, it's called plot. And plot armor. Yes guys, Bakugo is gonna be having plot armor in this what if, okay? Cause I like Bakugo now that he's not a jerk. Okay? The fanfics have changed my mind about Bakugo being a jerk. Fanfics, they all just change their mind sometimes. So they all decided that, let bygones be bygones. Bakugo, he may be a bad guy, but he's not a villain, that's for sure. So I thought, might as well cut him some slack and let him be a main one. So I hope you guys all like that what if. I'm about instant transmission out of this place. Okay? So don't forget to comment, Don't forget to like, guys. The suggested videos, amazing, my guys. Share. Of course, guys, I need you to share, right? And subscribe. Yo, you guys get me a 2K like goal. If you guys can get me to 2K subscribers, I'm giving you 1 hour. Yeah. Even though there's gonna be hella a lot of time editing, I'm gonna spend 2 hours just for you guys. So don't forget. And yeah, this is me, the Omni King, Teen Shallot, out of here.